But let's dive into this so that there's a couple of different points to address. Marxism is the movement towards the people having control of ownership, right? All private ownership being abolished. That's what Marxism is. If you're talking about socialism, that's the idea that the state has control over all private ownership. Okay, that's the, now we've never been able to get from socialism to real Marxism. It's always stopped at the socialism level. But in order for the state to hold all private equity and private ownership, which is what they want to do, Marxists want to do ultimately, they need to have power in order to control the state. That's what they have to have. So they are going to do this, Connor, whether you like it or not. They've done it and done it and done it and done it and done it. And they're doing it right now in New York. They're trying, I mean, that's what fucking Marxists do. When you're talking about importing people from South America, you still also have to have other shared cultural values. And it is true that by the second or third generation, they begin to have those, which is why they're starting to break for the right instead of the left. But the left doesn't want to just flood us with South Americans anymore. They're looking elsewhere. And so the thing is like, look, ultimately, there is a shared voting bloc here. And the shared voting bloc is Christian values and Christian ethics. And if it's the case that we can control power so that we can keep other people out, and our voting bloc is assured to be in the power position for the social order of society, that's good, because otherwise some fucking buddy else will. Now, even if you disagree with me on mass migration, or you disagree with me on immigration policy, or you disagree with me on economics or things like that, you're not going to be able to disagree with me on power distribution. Marxists fucking want it.
I don't.
Yeah, Marxists, hang on a minute. Marxists want it, progressives want it, leftists want it, they all want it. And by the way, when they fucking get it, they're going to try to maintain it. And if that means that they got to change laws to do it, they'll fucking do that too. So it's a race to the finish line. And man, I really want us to fucking win.
Okay, I appreciate what you said. But what I would say is, liberals and libertarians and Republicans, by the way, people who believe in a republic, people who believe in the Constitution,
have a republic.
And ordered law, and ordered.
There is no republic.
Just for a few minutes, so I'd like
to
go ahead, please.
Yeah, that's fair.
So people who actually believe in the Republic of the United States, for which stands, and all the shit that we get taught as children, they want to perpetuate the game as we currently have it, which means keeping the First Amendment, which is freedom of conscience, freedom of speech, the Second Amendment, which is the right to keep and bear arms up to and including against a tyrannical government, and shit like the Fourth, Fifth, and Eighth Amendment and the 14th Amendment, which are basically due process laws. And they want to keep all of that shit. So when you're talking about, and I would say a majority of the population, you have to bear in mind, a third of the population votes left, a third of the population votes right, and a third of the country doesn't vote at all. And also, even within the Christian bloc, which you keep mentioning is the largest demographic within the United States, let's be real, 30 to 35% of the country is secular or atheist, meaning that they actually don't believe in God at all. And then the 70% of the Christians, probably, let's say half of them, so probably 80% of them, are Creaster Christians. And what I mean by that is they don't take their faith seriously. They don't think about God. They don't think about Jesus. They don't think about heaven. They don't think about divinity. They just go on Easter and Christmas. And so what I'm saying is, I have no resentments towards you trying to build a political advocacy bloc. What I'm saying is that civic nationalism covers all of those people, and civic nationalism only involves the proposition that you believe in the Constitution of the United States. It's a far lower bar to entry.
Yeah, so again, these things are contradictory in their own right. First, we don't have I'll tell you, first, we don't have a republic. A republic, if you have everybody enfranchised, that's no longer a republic. Okay,
we vote for representatives.
Yeah, but we never were supposed to.
No, hold on.
We never were supposed to, ever.
Excuse me, but black men getting the vote, I'm just going to see as a moral good. Women getting the vote, we could argue about. I don't really care. But the point is that, like, we choose representatives. The average citizen does not write legislation.
And were we supposed to ever select representatives, Connor?
Yeah.
No.
Wait.
No.
We started as a representative republic. What the fuck are you talking about?
Listen to me. Maybe you just have no idea. How do you think the president used to get elected? Do you think that the people got to vote on him?
No.
No. Exactly. No.
Wait, who
the
was
people
he
didn't get to
chosen
vote.
by?
The people didn't get to vote on anything except their state reps. The state reps were the ones who then sent the reps up. And only certain people inside of the states were able vote at all. And most of the requirements were that they were Christians because what? You had to be of good moral standing. They didn't want
I don't
people.
think you contradicted me at all.
Hang on. They didn't want people who were in bad moral standing. The second
So
you
I'm sorry,
claim,
who picked the
bro,
president in the 19th
I didn't
century
interrupt you.
and
I
the
let you
20th
go. Can I finish?
Absolutely.
So the thing is, man, is that the big problem that you have, the contradictory nature of what it is that you're stating, is you start first with a presupposition which is false that we still have a republic. We don't. We now are moving towards direct democracy, and that's probably what we're going to see in our lifetime, or something more akin to it. That's the ever-expansive flow, is towards that, not a republic. When you're talking about checks and balances and things like this has been out the door for a long time, because now the public can vote directly on issues, and so they can be bribed. The whole system's fucking done. The republic has already fallen. That's not even here anymore. The original statement of our founders for what a republic was, which was based on a compromise, due to the fact we had the Articles of Confederation, and that was a fucking mess. It was a mess. We couldn't govern anything. Okay, the republic is dead. I don't know where you've been. Now it's a Zerg rush to power, based on the enfranchisement of people. And now that people have realized that you can collectivize through enfranchisement to seize power, it's a matter of who gets there first and who's willing to change the laws when they are there, Connor. And the thing is that if we don't do it, they're gonna fucking do it to us. So I don't even understand the proposition that you're giving here. You already know that that's true. You know if Christians don't rush to do it, others will. And by the way, when you talk about secularists here, a lot of secularists are voting the way that Christians vote now, because they're sick of social morbid degeneracy and still see Christian ethics as being superior to the alternative of progressive degeneracy. So again and again and again, telling me that we can't have a voting bloc when we've already had tons of successful elections based on the emergent political party of Christian nationalism or Christian populism, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, because we seem like we're kicking the shit out of everybody, Connor.
Okay, I'm going to try to be very specific because I'm not sure if you heard me before, so I'm going to say it again. I don't care that Christian conservatives with aligned values vote in their conscience. I don't give two shits about that.
What about them changing
And I actually wouldn't even care, real quick, I wouldn't even care if they got a healthy chunk of what they wanted. I'm a dude. I don't need an abortion, okay? I'm not black. Maybe, whatever you want to do with black folk. Not you, but Nick or whatever, right? Like, I don't, this isn't skin off of my ass. What I'm saying is that
good,
the
Brandon.
liberal, libertarian, Republican...
Not too much. Just had a little bit of breakfast. Kind of looking for something to watch. I'm kind of bored.
At Bashley, our dining room furniture is made for all of life's moments. From intimate meals to large gatherings, there's always room for one more. Discover intimate pieces made for moments big and small. Shop in-store and online.
Hey, I have a question for you. Are you on prep? You should be. Click the link below. QCare's got you covered. Oh my God.
You too, man. All is well in this part of town. I guess Trump's about to make some announcement. You already do it or no?
Great job. Great job, thanks.
And Amalia. Good morning.
No or no
Grand Rising.
None, ever. We don't like auto pens, right? We don't like auto pens. How about gathering around me and we'll hold this up. Congratulations, it's an amazing job. Come on around, come on around.
I'm not sure what
Let's
he
take a good
just.
picture.
Trump just signed something. I'm not sure what it was. Some fucking law.
Fantastic job. You guys, fantastic job. Thank you very much. Great job. Great job. What you've done is unprecedented. How about holding that up? You guys hold it. Hold it up high. You deserve it more than me. So I'm gonna give you another medal though, that may be more beautiful, I'm not sure it means as much, but it's really good. Okay? This is gun medal, this is the one the military loves. So good stuff, okay? Thank you. Here you go. Pretty nice. Wanna compare
That
it?
type
Let me
of
see.
morning.
Oh, it's pretty good, but that means something. Very special.
Week of enough. Nice.
You can do that, you know? It's a nice wedding.
Yeah, that kind of sucks, but
It's special. We don't give you many people.
maybe it'll be nice. Maybe it'll be nice to see something at work.
Come on over here, come here.
Maybe have a good
That's four
day.
shots up there. That means a lot.
Delicious. I just wish my Puffco was working. I gotta send my Puffco in to get repaired. My neck hurts. Damn. Nice. That's cool. I heard it's hard to hard to get rid of them coyotes.
It's the #1 brand of shaving cream.
Cops arrest a rat mog? What are you doing?
Warning. The following video.
Oh, no.
You fucking shoot.
I wouldn't use a deadly force. I would use other ways.
More than men do.
Or at least
When
you'd
they're
shoot the
cops.
car. You wouldn't shoot her. You'd shoot the tire to stop her. I don't even know why I debated you,
law
because if you don't
enforcement-
view
because
me
you-
as a human
okay,
being,
as a-
then you know what? I hope you get no pussy for the rest of your life, and I bet your dick is a carrot.
Yeah.
The only people who really look up to you are antisocial losers. If I was you, I think I'd just kill myself. So I don't really know. I don't respect you. I'm gonna leave. Bye.
Translation I lost. Okay. A majority of women are single. What's that mean?
According to what study? You still haven't given me
Okay,
the
this
numbers on
fucking
it.
guy, man. Do I need a study to say that 1 + 1 is 2? Do I need a study to say the sky is fucking blue? Do I need to study to
Don't
say you're
straw
being a
man me.
retard right now?
Stop straw
Like, I
manning
don't.
right now.
Like,
Myron, shut the fuck up. Stop straw manning me right now and respond to the fucking question, you bitch.
Oh, this is gonna be
Don't have
fun.
any education.
I did misgender you, my bad. You should be in a garage, not a kitchen. What's going on here? Yeah. You go over there. Don't. You gotta back up. You gotta back up. Today's topic is going to be ICE did nothing wrong. I'm going to try to stay on that topic as much as we can. I understand that we have some kosher friends here that might want to ask me some questions about, you know, I don't know what it would be, but whatever it may be. Just for those of you that are not familiar, I'll just kind of go through this real quick. Number 1, women are stupid. Number 2, blacks cause too much damn crime. Number 3, Jews run America. 4, Indians stink. What else? 5, Asians are good at math, as proven just here a second ago with the president here. And it wasn't 6 million. Awesome. Okay. So let's go ahead and go to the first person. Thank you for being patient, man. What's your name?
I'm Dan.
Hi, Dan. How are you?
I'm good. First of all, thank you for coming to our campus. My name is Dan Bitterman. I'm a senior in LSA. I'm also the campus fellow for, get this, End Jew Hatred.
Okay.
I'm also the president of Students Supporting Israel on
Sure.
campus. So my question for you is this. Many of us, regardless of political association, closely followed Turning Point's MFest conference, to which you unfortunately were not important enough to be invited as a speaker, but rather as an attendee. There you wore a shirt, which is now on your hat, likely as a desperate attempt to stay relevant, wearing a Let 'em Cook shirt and hat, referencing and insinuating the support for the gassing of 6 million Jews in the Holocaust, a number which you regularly and not too long ago just denied. My question to you is this. What is your response to the over 6,000 Jewish students on this campus across the political spectrum that feel incredibly unsafe that someone like yourself is on our college campus?
So, say that last, what's the actual question?
What is your response to the over 6,000 Jewish students at this campus across the political spectrum that feel incredibly unsafe that you're here?
Unsafe.
Stop being a bitch. I'm not gonna hurt nobody. I don't know what the hell. This is the United States of America, man. Freedom of speech is a thing here. It's not Tel Aviv. If you guys don't like it, go back to fucking Tel Aviv, man. That's the reality. We got the First Amendment. That's what makes this country so great. And then we got the Second Amendment to protect that. I obviously never condone violence. I never condone any type of hatred towards someone simply because of their religion, their skin color, whatever. What was that?
What did you just do?
Well, here's the thing. I talk about general realities, but in no way am I saying, oh, I hate Jewish people or anything like that. My thing is, because this is the Jewish tactic right here. Literally, it's if you're critical of certain narratives, or if you're critical of Judaism or Zionism or the state of Israel or how they just got done doing a genocide, it's automatically you're anti-Semitic or you make me feel unsafe. It's all a Jewish ploy to try to victimize themselves, when in reality, you guys have been the ones victimizing a bunch of innocent Palestinians, and someone like me calling it out gets labeled as, oh, well, you're promote hatred, blah, blah. Well, look, if I exercise my voice to talk about how you guys are killing innocent children, and that makes you feel unsafe, well, I don't know what to say, because it's the reality is that Israel's that's doing a lot of the aggression here.
Well, I didn't mention the word Israel once. You walking up here twice saluted Hitler. Hitler murdered 6 million Jews, which obviously you think is sub 271,000. So how do you say that you don't support and encourage violence when you just saluted Hitler?
Well, and here's the thing. The United States, the UK, everybody committed atrocities. History is written by the victors, and the reality here is we won, so we read it in a certain way, but
Sorry, we
World War
America
II,
or the Nazis?
World War II was a horrible time, and a lot of people, millions upon millions of people died. So I just find it interesting how we only focus on this one part of World War II. We don't focus on all the other parts of the World War II or other genocides that happened. We only focus on this, number of 6 million of Jewish people that were allegedly killed during the Holocaust. Now, let me be clear about this. I don't deny the Holocaust. I don't think that, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. But what I am saying is I think the facts around it and the way that it's told in mainstream media, I don't think all the facts are accurate. And when you actually do the numbers and you figure out in the background, okay, well, there's an entire media industry behind it. There's a museum industry behind it. It's a narrative that allows them to seek victimhood anytime they're criticized. I think for political reasons, that number is used, but I don't think it's 6 million. Now, did people die? For sure. But for some odd reason, we only prioritize that. We don't talk about all the other people that died. And it's used from a perspective of advantage and tactically by the Jewish community, Zionism, etc.
What about the detailed records of the Nazis kept during the Holocaust? I don't know if you're literate, but if you were, did you read those?
Yeah, records that basically their enemies went ahead and said, oh yeah, well look at all these records we found. Look at this smoke chamber that's here that wasn't there before. Dude, there's so many problems with it, and to exterminate that many people in that period of time, simply put, there weren't enough ovens. So let's go on to the topic here with ICE. I understand if we have more time we can revisit that, but the reality is to pull off what they claim happened in that short period of time with that less sophisticated technology, it's impossible. No way. And anyone that has half a brain and can do some math knows that it's almost impossible to do it. And the way, and to gas them, that's ridiculous. What's up, man?
I'm Alejandro. I'm a student of applied mathematics here. And my question was, how can you justify sending the paramilitary squads into elementary schools, hospitals, cancer wards, farms, to round up millions of innocent people and deport them to the third world? And I'm not talking about the jihadists to the cartel members, but the millions of innocent people who just want a better life for them and their families.
Okay, I'm assuming when you say paramilitary, you're referring to ICE?
Yes.
Okay, so, and I love how you just framed the question from a progressive standpoint, calling them paramilitary, etc., when they're sworn law enforcement, but I get it. So here's the thing. People break the law when they come to the United States illegally, okay? And we haven't enforced immigration for decades. Most presidents are pussies. They don't want to enforce it because it's considered political suicide. It's a very disliked, you got it? Okay. It's a very disliked topic politically. So Donald Trump is the first president to actually say, you know what, we're going to put our foot down and actually enforce immigration for once. And what we are seeing is the culmination of decades of kicking the can down the road and not dealing with the problem of mass immigration in the United States. And that is why there's so much backlash. But the reality is, they're doing their jobs. These people are here illegally. Some of them have been here for 20, 30 years where they could have definitely did something where they can adjust their status, but they didn't do it. So if you've been here for 20 years and you didn't adjust your status, well, quite frankly, you're a fucking retard. And you probably should get sent back to Mexico or where the fuck you came from. That's the reality. So people break the laws and there's consequences.
Well, so did Harriet Tubman, so did Frederick Douglass. They all broke the law. Aren't they illegal immigrants too? How about them? They ran away. They crossed the border illegally. Shouldn't we have benevolence and humanity towards these people? How do you enforce these laws? I mean, that are just horrific. They're going to be sent back to Afghanistan or Somalia where they're going to be killed. Like, so
we do have remedies in place like asylum and everything else like that, where people are able to put them, apply for asylum, temporary protected status, etc. We do have avenues that people can stay here if they do have credible fear. But the problem is that our immigration system has been exploited extensively. People committing marriage fraud, asylum fraud, all types of things. And the issue with immigration is no one really knows about this, and since it's such a complex topic and it's so politically sensitive, no one really wants to discuss it and or enforce it. But this is a problem that's been going on for a very long time, and what you're seeing right now is the process of ripping the Band-Aid off.
What is the purpose of enforcing a law that is clearly unjust? Like, would you have to enforce the fugitive slave laws? Like, how does this work?
Well, obviously, America is a relatively newer country compared to other nations, and we've been able to progress quite a bit. But I think comparing people that came here illegally, that are here illegally, to slavery, I don't think is analogous. So
why?
I see your perspective where you're trying to say, well, things were legal before that were bad. Well, look, people came here illegally. We have a country to protect. We have Americans that we have to care for. Like, people coming here illegally and breaking our laws, that's not what we want. And at the end of the day, if you don't have a border, you don't have a country. So they broke the law, man.
So what if they broke the law? Doesn't the law exist to protect freedom? Isn't this what John Locke said, Thomas Jefferson? If they aren't doing anything wrong in the sense that they're not hurting anyone, why can't they stay? You're going to send them back to get their fingers chopped off by the cartels?
Well,
what are you, a slave?
Well, only on Saturday slave owning. But so here's the thing. This law that you're complaining about is precisely why you live in the safe environment where you can say ridiculous things like this, because we've secured the country so much and we've secured society so much where people are able to come in here and give their takes, everything else like that. So I would argue that this law that you're criticizing has created a very comfortable environment for you to bitch as you're doing right now.
Wait, that's completely unfair. How can you say, like, the farmers that are getting deported, the children in the cancer wards that are getting deported, they're a threat to me? These are, like, if you find a jihadist, send him to Guantanamo. But, like, how can you say these people who aren't hurting anyone, you're going to send them back? So how's that any different than the slave catchers who sent them back to slavery?
Well, here's the thing. Here's another thing. So typically they prioritize criminal aliens, right? And another issue is that a lot of these blue states that have sanctuary cities, these people have been arrested before, they've been encountered by law enforcement before, and a lot of these agencies don't do immigration enforcement whatsoever. They don't ask, don't ask, don't tell. So what ICE is doing is they're basically prioritizing going after criminal aliens, and then if they're there during the course of securing an immigration arrest, and there's other people that they encounter that are illegal, those people are probably going to be taken into custody too. That's called what we call like collateral damage.
Why
right?
should they be deported though? But why should, if they aren't hurting anyone? So I have no problem with investing.
Keep in mind, they're not getting deported right away. They're going through immigration proceedings.
So they're going to get have a trial and then they're going to be sent back to Afghanistan. Like,
Well, not necessarily. If they can demonstrate credible fear or some other type of situation, they might be able to stay. But they do get, when they get arrested, a lot of times they actually get released, given what's called a notice to appear to see an immigration judge, because the immigration court system is its own animal.
Trump just revoked 2,000 permits for the people from Somalia. They're going to be sent back to do what? To live in hell? To live in?
To be pirates?
But so you're fine with sending them back to be slaughtered by ISIS or whoever terrorists live in Somalia?
Slaughtered.
Well, if they're able to demonstrate credible fear, the thing is that every immigration case in every scenario is completely different. So just because you get arrested by ICE doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be deported by ICE as well. You got to keep in mind that we do have an entire immigration process where they can go through that.
So if you don't want to live in a hellhole, maybe in the slums of Mexico, then you can be deported. But if you, I don't know, might have your head chopped,
Bro, it's their fucking country, bro. Jesus Christ.
Then we can keep you here. Like, how is that fair?
Again, we cannot save everyone. We have to put our people first. We have to put U.S. citizens first. We have to put our country first. And look, the world's a very cold and evil place.
Why would you dare send them back
that's
to
just
their
how it
own
is.
country?
And we got to put our country first. And sometimes that means that other people have to come second and third. And this is what we're doing.
Well, the world is not zero sum, but I'll just say that we can have 1 billion people come to this country, and we'll have the population density of like France. So there's plenty of space here, and they contribute to our economy. And I don't see why. I mean, you used to work for ICE. I know that.
Yeah.
So you are the equivalent of the slave catcher who used to deport Harriet Tubman and all her friends back to slavery in the South. Would you rather live in like slums of Venezuela where they're organized slavery, which is basically what communism is, or would you rather be a slave in whatever time period? I mean, I'm just saying, you guys are morally equivalent to barbarians.
Well, I worked for HSI, so I did more criminal investigations, not necessarily deporting people. But look, like I said before, they break the law. It is what it is, man.
Well, I'm just gonna say
if
that
you're here
law,
illegally, like
the law should reflect our values, and I mean, if you can't, you should be. If it doesn't, you should be amnestied. I mean, Abraham Lincoln pardoned all the slaves, even though they committed a crime. They tried illegally. I mean, I'm just saying, like, how about all these countries? How about the people who saved the Jews from the gas chambers? They committed a crime. Should they be punished?
That's a completely different situation.
I mean, if you're arguing that
you're comparing immigration, people coming here illegally and overstaying and/or committing immigration violations to like World War II. Like you're just kind of just throwing things out there, man. I get it. You're a little triggered by ICE finally doing their jobs after decades of not doing their jobs. But the reality is we got laws, dude, and we have a border, and we got to protect our country. We got to put Americans first, and that means that we need to remove people that don't belong here.
How are they hurting
if you don't have borders, if you don't have
How about
a
all the people who
strong national
contribute?
identity, then you don't have a country.
Fine, I didn't realize we just had to say, yes, sir, we have to appeal to the laws. Like, if the laws are unjust, we should change the laws or grant them amnesty. This has been how it is. And I didn't realize we just supposed to bow down and obey every single law if it's wrong.
Well, the laws that we have created the secure environment for you to be here.
No, they haven't.
Yes,
Deporting.
You're able to talk right now about this.
Rating cancer wards does not help me have free speech. How does that even work?
No, I'm saying is you're complaining about the very system that's allowed you the privilege.
I'm not
to be
complaining
able to
about the
speak the way
First
that you are.
Amendment. I'm complaining about the
But I'm
fact.
saying this is a great country, and you're saying like, oh, this is so evil that they're deporting people. Dude, we're a nation of laws. Now, just because you don't like the law or it pisses you off from an emotional perspective, doesn't necessarily mean that it's not
every
the
law.
law.
I mean, should laws that are bad be enforced? I mean, do you justify enforcing
Yeah,
the
mass
fugitive-
immigration does create problems.
Would you have
mass
enforced the
immigration creates
fugitive
problems.
slave clause? That's my question. Would you have enforced the fugitive slaves clause?
Okay, slavery is not the same as people coming here illegally.
Well, if
At all.
you're gonna send them back to
If anything,
Venezuela, where they're gonna be
it's the complete
gang raped,
opposite. So where they're gonna be what?
where they're gonna be like enslaved. You know, Venezuela has a modern system of slavery, and Donald Trump sending them all back there. Same in Afghanistan.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Who's
fine.
up next?
Fine.
This guy's just throwing anything, trying to get it to stick.
Hi, I have a few questions for you. I'm
Yeah.
a reporter with the Michigan Daily, so it's alright if I ask you just a few questions.
Yeah. Can we just try to stay on topic though?
Yeah, I will.
If we can stay on ICE or the good shooting
Yeah.
or anything like that.
Yeah, my first question for you is just, what do you, like, you said ICE did nothing wrong, so what are your thoughts on the killing of Renee? I believe her name was Renee Nicole Good.
Nicole.
Yeah, I mean, the loss of any life
Why
is
is
a
her
horrible
middle name
situation,
matter?
but he was completely justified in
Why
that
the
shooting.
fuck are you saying her
You
middle
you don't get to commit a felony
Why does her name
and try to run
matter?
over an ICE officer and, just walk away from him a lot of times. I mean, he was 100% justified in what he did.
Okay, do you mind if I ask you a few other questions about
Sure.
things you said in the past? Okay.
So you don't, right,
Well-
just want to sit down. Yeah, so my position on that for everybody here that's listening, since that's like the trending right now, the shooting in Minnesota with Good was absolutely justified. Now, and if you don't like that or you don't agree with that, hey, the Second Amendment and law enforcement does have a duty, has the right to defend themselves, as well as they don't have a duty to retreat when they're there enforcing the law. Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, do you believe women deserve equal rights?
Equal rights in what way?
In equal rights under the law, equal protections, equal rights to get jobs, equal rights to access housing, just equal rights under the law in general.
Well, I think feminism has created a lot of problems, and I don't think that men and women are equal. And I think we have completely different roles, and I think feminism in itself has created a lot of the destructive, progressive policies that we have now. The female vote has put in a lot of progressive leaders who have created issues, but that's a broad overview. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then also, I know a few people have already asked you kind of about this stuff, but I was told by like another editor to ask you. You mentioned, yeah, we like Hitler in defending a chat. I was gonna ask you, do you stand by this comment?
Yeah, I stand by being able to say what you want to say and not being pussified about it. The issue here is that we have a lot of political correctness. We got a lot of people that are soft. We got a lot of people that are scared to say what's on their mind. So when I say, yeah, we like Hitler, that's to defy the norm where, oh my God, you can't say that. And I think that was in response to a tweet from actually David Pakman, because he said some bullshit about, oh, this is so bad, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, we like Hitler, shut the fuck up. Because we gotta protect the First Amendment, dude. We gotta protect the First Amendment. And in order for the First Amendment to be protected, you have to be able to push the edges of the First Amendment.
Okay, do you think Trump is deploying ICE and having them be very aggressive with protesters so that he can, because he just mentioned, I think, that he was considering declaring Insurrection Act, thank you. So do you think he's having ICE be very aggressive with protesters so that he can then declare the Insurrection Act and using it as a pretext to declare the Insurrection Act?
Well, the problem is that the protesters are the ones showing the majority of the aggression, right? If ICE is there to effectuate an arrest, I'll tell you right now, and I'm sure anyone here that works in law enforcement or has worked in law enforcement understand law enforcement practices, you always try to handle the situation at the lowest level possible with the least escalation. The problem here is that a lot of these people are impeding officers, they're creating issues, they're harboring them illegally, they're doing all types of things to obstruct the agents and the officers from doing their jobs. So they have to kick up their level of force a lot of the times to be able to properly enforce the law. The issue is that we haven't enforced immigration so long that people forget that you being here illegally or ICE have the authority to arrest people that are here illegally without any type of status. So that's why we have all this backlash, is because this is something that we've been kind of delaying and procrastinating on for a very long time.
All right, thank you for answering my questions.
No worries. What's up?
How's it going, bro? I got a serious question. So,
go ahead.
So, would you rather gay son or thought daughter?
A gay son or a thought daughter?
Yes, bro.
Damn. Yeah, neither, of course. But if I had to pick one,
you gotta pick one.
The gay son, fuck that, man. Thought daughter's the worst, bro. Okay. That's the worst. Yeah, I'd have to, because at least with my son, I can smack the shit out. I'm like, hey, man, you're not gonna be gay. So yeah, but thought daughter, she's cooked. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, bro.
Hey, Myron, thanks for coming. I'm a big supporter. So, I guess I'm in agreement. So my biggest questions you can talk about. I talk to people who disagree with the shooting, and I just don't think they understand force versus deadly force, and the use of force continuum. Where we do expect police officers to be the aggressors. We do expect police officers to move forward and pursue criminals. So could you speak on like why it actually is deadly force? When it comes to the vehicle?
Oh yeah.
Or
so,
why a vehicle, or what is a deadly weapon in any context of that kind of situation?
Yeah, and people need to understand, like, okay, so number one, like in the state of Minnesota, right, you have a duty to retreat. That doesn't apply to law enforcement because by the nature of their job, a lot of the times, they have to be the ones to increase, like you said, with the use of force continuum. Because if I show up, right, and the courier says, hey man, I ain't going to jail, and puts up his fist, like, it would be stupid for me to square up with him. I'll pull out my taser. He pulls out a knife, I pull out my gun. So when it comes to law enforcement, you typically have to go one level above the perpetrator to be able to subdue them. Now, when it comes to a vehicle, that is absolutely a deadly weapon. And the ICE agent actually did get internal bleeding, as much as people were saying, like, oh yeah, he hurt his like, internal organs. She just came at him at like 5 miles per hour. People don't realize that you can, even if a car that size hitting you, like that can cause some serious damage. And when it comes to imminent death or serious bodily injury, you have the authorization, to utilize deadly force to stop the threat. So, and people just don't understand that. So it is what it is, but you can't be committing felonies. They give you lawful orders, and then you run a car at them. A vehicle is absolutely considered a deadly weapon. Many cops get hit by cars and die. There was actually a Baltimore police officer, female. That's a whole other situation. But she got ran over, and she died from the same exact situation. And the guy didn't even drive that fast. So yeah, this is what law enforcement deals with all the time.
Yeah, I just don't think people see that. It is deadly force, a deadly weapon. I mean, from a firearm all the way down.
Absolutely. A car's a deadly weapon, and I think people that don't see that are retarded. But, it is what it is.
Thanks, Myron. Big supporter.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay.
And guys, let's try to focus on disagreements or haters or anything else like that. So yeah. What's up, man?
Okay. Actual question.
Yep.
Would you rather get shot in the head or get freaky with your dad?
Shot in the head.
Okay. That's all I need to know. Thank you so much.
Shot in the head.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Kind of going back to the other conversation with the shooting being justified. I feel like I'm specifically kind of 50-50 in it. So I've been in law enforcement for 4 years, and I do agree that a vehicle is like something that could cause a death. But in some way, like when you have a situation, you want to take kind of down the level of like how stressful it is. Oh, sorry.
Would you rather? I gotta put that in a
Okay, so kind of saying that, wouldn't adjustable solution would be like shoot the tire so that way she doesn't run away? Because she didn't, other than being in the vehicle, it's not a deadly force.
So shooting out tires is very maverick, and not many agencies authorize that. And I think actually for ICE, you can't shoot the tires out. So if you are gonna, shoot at a car, it's got to pretty much be only to defend yourself from the kind of the perspective of the ICE officer did. So,
let me do a
like,
poll.
are you like actual sworn law enforcement or?
I'm not sworn.
Okay, so you're not sworn. So there's not many law enforcement agencies that like authorize shooting out tires. Like typically, really reckless state police agencies only authorize that. So that's not going to be a thing. And I see what you're saying. Like, hey, look, they could have maybe dealt with it at a lower level, but you got to remember that they have to meet the perpetrator where the perpetrator's at, right? It's very difficult to de-escalate things, especially in that rapid time frame. We're talking about a matter of seconds. Guy comes up, get out the car. She doesn't want to comply. She backs up the car. He pulls out his gun. She still drives towards him anyway. Like these are all, escalatory behaviors that would lead a reasonable person to be like, oh wow, and he's trying to get out the way as he's shooting. That's another thing people say, oh well, bro, you should just get out the way. He tried and he got hit.
Should not have been working. Had got him dragged 10 months.
Why is this woman talking and not in the kitchen? What's going on here? What the hell is going on? So like, wait, she's just standing by the snowbank, and I'm like, I don't see a stove there. Why is she talking? What's going on? Like, what's? Okay, yeah, just women being women, right? But anyway, yeah. But to finish what I was saying here, they had to meet her where she was at, unfortunately.
I agree with that, and like obviously I do see it as somewhat reasonable.
Yeah, you're welcome to come to the thing after if you want. No, you're fine. Sorry, continue on.
I do see that being reasonable. It is like a split-second decision, but I think saying that like 100% justifiable, maybe not, but like it is in some way.
I see your perspective. The reality is legally, it's 100% justified. Now, if you want to have a moral discussion, that's different. That's very subjective. But I would say, keep in mind, when it comes to use of force in America, the law enforcement officer is going to be judged on, did he act in a reasonable manner given all the facts and circumstances that he was in at the time that the use of force happened. And I think universally, most people would agree, most attorneys, law enforcement, etc., training, that was a good shoot, unfortunately. I wish it didn't happen, but given the facts and circumstances, he's absolutely justified.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Okay. We go ahead. Did you have a disagreement too?
Yeah.
Okay, disagreement, cool. And then we'll get.
All right. So I disagree that she was intentionally driving into the officer, but that's not what I'm going to discuss right now. I have a question for you.
Oh, you're saying you don't think she intentionally was trying to drive?
Yeah, but I don't want to talk.
But that's kind of irrelevant. But that's fine.
I know. I'm talking.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a different question. All right. Did he?
Because I want everybody to know that's listening. Like her intention when she drove towards him isn't relevant to him using force.
Yeah.
It's how he interpreted it. Well, go ahead.
All right. Did the officer shoot at Renee from the front or from the side of her car?
Both.
He shot through the side window, though. That was where the fatal shot came from.
Yeah.
Right. So that means that she was not running over him at the time that he shot the lethal shot.
So we're talking a matter of milliseconds here. So as she's coming at him and he's moving out the way, law enforcement is trained to stop the threat, and that includes up to deadly force. So as he's moving out the way and shooting, we're talking about a rapidly evolving event, right? So once you get into that mode, you're shooting. And this is precisely why 20/20 hindsight is never taken into account when law enforcement officers or use of force in general is typically applied.
All right, yeah, but that's...
Because it's easy to Monday morning quarterback and say, oh, well, bro, technically, let's put the protractor over here. If you move 2 degrees this way, you would have been fine. Why'd you shoot from the side? They're trained to stop the threat.
Also, they're trained to use lethal force as an absolute last resort. The fact that he was able to get to the side of the car into safety shows that he was able to survive the car without fatally shooting Renee. So shooting her, the imminent threat was gone. He no longer has the right to use lethal force in that situation because there is no imminent threat anymore. He was able to get to the side of the car.
Well, keep in mind that she still hit him. He still got injured. He didn't know who was behind him. He was there with other people. So when law enforcement shoots to stop the threat, it's not just for for them immediately. It's also for other law enforcement and other civilians as well. Because if you're telling someone, get out the car, they back up, you pull out your gun, and then they drive towards you, how are you going to interpret that? Okay, this person clearly doesn't care, they're reckless, I'm shooting to stop this threat, not just as a threat for me, but a threat for my colleagues and other people and other civilians that are in the area. That's how they apply force.
That's kind of ridiculous. There are no
That's the law.
officers in the path of Renee. She was driving straight forward.
That's the law.
What's the law? The law is that lethal force
Stop the threat.
Lethal force is the last threat. He can stop the threat some other way. They can start a police chase, but killing her is not an option there. He had no threat to his life at that point.
He absolutely did.
How? He got to the side. He survived.
He got hit in the process. Also, here's another thing. That guy got dragged like 6 months earlier by someone. Yeah. Yeah. So, that actually strengthens my argument because. Oh, really? It weakens it? Yeah. Well, let's finish him first, and then go ahead. You keep going.
Right. My main point overall is that it is a law in all law enforcement operations that when the imminent threat is gone, which it was because he jumped to the side of the car and he was no longer getting ran over whatsoever, lethal force is simply not an option.
Again, we're talking a matter of milliseconds here. He's moving out the way as he's shooting, okay? So this is all happening rapidly. You can't be like, okay, I'm out the way, I think not gonna pull the trigger no more. No, dude, we're talking about literally milliseconds here. And again,
it's the fact that he got out of the way.
He's trained, but here's the thing.
It's the fact that he was able to get out of the way that shows that he was not an
But he got hit in the process. He got hit in the process, and his job is to stop the threat.
that you're ignoring the fact that he's out of the way. Like, I don't
Okay,
understand why you're
when she drove at him, and he got, let me ask you this, let me keep this simple.
Out of the way or not?
Look, buddy,
What?
let's go through this simply, because you gotta look at this objectively, you're looking at this through your feelings. Yes, objectively.
Okay,
he gets hit.
wait, you won't answer to me if he got out of the way or not, but
He got out the way.
I'm the one
He got out the way. But
Okay,
was she a threat coming at
he
him?
wasn't in the make. Okay,
Was
he
she?
out of the way.
Was
the car hitting?
Was he?
No, you can't just ignore that. You
No.
can't just ignore that fact.
I'm asking you a question.
Okay, what's your question?
Was she a threat when she drove at him with the car?
Yes.
Okay, and he ended the threat. Done.
Did he shoot her when he was driving towards
She was
him,
a
or
threat.
did he shoot
As
her
soon as
when
she
he was on the
came,
side of her then?
as soon as she came at him, she became a threat, and at that point, he has every right to end the threat.
It's the last resort. So if he was able to get out of the threat without killing her, it's no longer an imminent threat.
No, because it's a threat not just to him, but other people as well.
What other people?
He was there with several of his colleagues.
And were any of them?
And then there's also
were
civilians,
were
who
any
knows?
of them being ran over?
Again, like I said, as soon as she drove at him,
Okay, by
she
that
became
logic-
a threat, and he stopped the threat. That's it.
By that logic, it's like if I see someone on the street with fellow law enforcement officers, it's a potential threat to other people, so therefore I have the right to detain him or something. Wait, what does that even mean?
She was an imminent threat because she came at him, and he
she
got hit
wasn't
in
an
the
imminent
process.
threat anymore. When imminent means at the time. If he was able to get to the side, then that means she wasn't an imminent threat to him anymore.
She literally was because he got hit. Dude, again, this is why they're trained to stop the threats.
They're also trained to use
Okay.
lethal force.
That
as a
she
last
became a
resort.
threat,
They're also
and he
trained to
used
use
lethal force
as
to
a last
subdue
resort.
the threat, and that's what happened.
Subdue what threat? He got to the side of her.
Again, you're going off of 2020 hindsight. We go off of what was going in through his mind at the time. Lawful commands are done. Wife is saying, just drive. She backs up, drives towards him. He's obviously surprised. He gets out the way as he's shooting at her to stop the threat. Legally justified, my friend.
Wait,
now,
so
whether
you're
you
saying-
interpret it as a threat or not, from a Monday morning quarterback perspective, quite frankly, is irrelevant. He's justified in this shooting because he was there at the time and actually was dealing with the threat, and that's how he dealt with it, and that's why he's legally justified.
Okay.
Like, you might not like it, you might not agree with it, but the reality is that he was justified, which is why they're not prosecuting him.
Dude, the reality is that he knew he would survive when he jumped to the side of it, right? He should have just stopped right there. He's a trained officer. He's able to not pull the trigger at that point. He could have jumped to the side and realized, okay, the car's not coming at me anymore. It's no longer an imminent threat. I no longer have the right to shoot and kill her.
Yeah, you just don't, I don't think you understand tactics, which is
Yeah, I don't
fine.
think you understand like law enforcement policy.
Yeah, you definitely don't.
Oh, I
you,
do.
you definitely don't.
Yeah.
You never worked in law enforcement. I did. I understand how it goes. And when someone's coming at you with a car, it's easy to sit here and be like, just get out the way, dude. Bro, if someone's coming at you like that, like trying to end your
No,
life,
I understand
and you're
that, but
interpreting
he
it that
did
way,
get out of
you're
the
going
way.
to empty
The
that
difference
mag.
is that he did
You're
get
going
out
to
of the
empty
way.
that mag.
He did get out.
Barely.
Okay.
Barely.
Okay. I'm
So,
not-
okay, so
I'm not
someone comes
saying-
at you with a knife, right?
Yeah.
And they nick you with it, and they
Yeah.
get you, like they try to go for your neck, but they get you in the chest.
Yeah.
Are you gonna sit there and be like, well, they're not an imminent threat anymore, bro?
That's not
you
convertible.
know?
That's not convertible at all because a person with a knife can easily just turn around and stab you again.
Yeah, but again, she hit him with the car,
Okay,
and car's a
but
deadly
can
weapon.
you acknowledge that that comparison was absolutely stupid?
No, it's they're both deadly weapons. Whether it's a car or a knife, it's a deadly
But the
weapon.
difference is a
Because
knife attack
she's
can happen
showing,
multiple
she's
times.
showing clear disregard for him, and who else might she run over in the process?
Yeah, but-
Again,
but-
remember
but
they
you're
had
not seeing how a knife is
they had it
completely
surrounded. They had the vehicle. Law enforcement was all around it. So if she clearly showed the disregard of backing up and then driving into him, as he has his gun there and he's giving her lawful commands alongside the other guy, a reasonable person can interpret, hey, this person is not going to stop and they're going to keep doing this, so I need to end the threat, not just for myself, but for my colleagues and for other civilians, because this individual clearly is being reckless. And that's what he's going to be judged
away
on.
at a slow speed. It wasn't like she was starting to go 100 miles per hour while drunk driving.
Even though she was going at a slow speed as you claim, he still got internal damage from getting hit.
Okay,
Like,
yeah, he got a bruise.
No, he got organ damage with his internal.
Internal bleeding is another word for a bruise.
Okay, all right. Let's go to her. Let's go to her. Like, we're not gonna agree. Like,
Too much of your time.
I suggest, you know what? You should do some tactical training and let them put you in scenarios, because they've actually done this with civilians. They put them in a tactical situation, and every single time the civilians just pull the trigger when there's not a deadly threat. And it's actually hilarious to see people pull the trigger so quickly. Then they want law enforcement to be like, no, bro, just don't pull the trigger. Get out the way. But go ahead.
Okay, so I'm not going to waste too much of your time. First, thanks for gendering me properly. This does not look like a stove. I'm not going to waste much of your time, so I can get back.
You said what? Gendering properly?
Yes, because these gentlemen asked, or I could hear them talking like, oh, is that a tranny? I'd be happy to say I was born intersex, and
Wait, what?
kind of pathetic.
Born
That has-
intersex?
Yes. That has nothing to do with this. I'm just addressing this for the record in front of everyone, how pathetic that is.
I think there's only two genders. I don't think intersex is a thing, but that's fine.
Okay, well, look at an actual, maybe graduate college level biology textbook and you'll realize beyond high school biology.
Were you born with a dick?
Was I born with ovary parts? Yes.
Okay, so you're born with a dick. Okay, got it.
Okay, yes, but that's neither here nor there and absolutely pathetic. Only thing I want
Two
to address
genders.
is that you had an officer who was shell-shocked, pretty much, several months before the shooting, who perhaps should not have been on the force because any other officer who had not had that experience several months prior would not have pulled the trigger in that instance, I do not believe.
Well, okay, so it's interesting that you bring that up. Him being dragged 6 months prior actually lends strength.
No, it does
to
not,
the shooting.
because
Yeah,
because it increases your threshold, or rather lowers it for what you actually think is a threat. That's why you have hypervigilance in PTSD victims.
Okay.
So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave, go back to a kitchen.
Why do they always do this? Every time these trainees, like they'll give their point and then they'll just walk away. It's like we don't want to debate. It's like what's going on here? Yeah. You go over there. Don't. You gotta back up. You gotta back up. You gotta back up. See, these people are crazy. I told y'all, man. No,
I'm glad this is filmed. I cannot wait to see it later. The fact
You're making yourself look crazy, but it's fine.
no, because you gendered me properly over there when I come up and then I bring up the topic.
Yeah, I mean, when I looked, I saw long red hair. I didn't know what it was. Now that you're talking more, and then whatever, like, yeah, I don't know what. You're a dude, man, or whatever you were born as, but you're a dude.
I will respect your right to say that uncensored, but also acknowledge that while this is aired, there will be a lot of people who think you sound absolutely ridiculous.
There's two
There'll be people
genders.
who don't, but
There's two genders. If you don't want to, accept reality, that's fine. But we weren't even talking about that.
No,
My thing is, I find it interesting how you go ahead and you give your statement and like, oh,
no, I'm going to
PTSD.
address how you started it by saying I should be in the kitchen, giving a female stereotype.
Well-
as soon as I bring it up to thank you of that, to mock the fact that, okay, this is also not an oven, and hearing people talk, oh, is that a tranny? Yes, I will bring it up, because I'm not ashamed, because anyone with a brain who can read a textbook and realize, oh, there is an ambiguity in how sex is represented in bodies as they develop. So that's
Yeah, so
moronic on your part.
let me
And
say
I'm
this.
confused. You don't have any education.
I did
on
misgender you. My bad. You should be in a garage, not a kitchen.
that. Okay, I'll find one. I'll go back to Randall and do that.
Yeah, not a kitchen. You should be in a garage. So.
What?
All right. Seeing that right there, guys, is precisely why trainees shouldn't be able to have guns. Fucking nuts. Absolutely nuts. But hey, it is what it is. What's up, man?
Alright, hey Myron, I guess thanks for coming to Michigan. It's pretty cold,
Yeah, this shit's freezing, dude.
Yeah, okay, so I guess given your federal law enforcement background, I was just curious what you're thinking about I haven't really been keeping up with the news or like, your podcast. But I was just wondering what your thoughts on being captured and taken to New York, like what your thoughts on that are.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm a non-interventionist, especially when it comes to engaging in anything that might lead to a war or a conflict. I don't think that we should have done that. I'm not a fan, and I think there's a bunch of other geopolitical factors that come into why we did that. But overall, just to give a bird's eye view, not a fan of it.
I mean, yeah, I totally agree. I think it was definitely, it's a move to attack, Chinese trade and also, Lebanese and, Iranian trade for sure.
There's a multi.
I feel like that's like the start of a good plan. But when you fuck with U-Haul, they'll fucking give you some bullshit charges, bro. Might be smarter to use your own vehicle.
Two different reasons. You know, it was to protect the, you know, we have a waning petrodollar reserve currency status. They wanted to go ahead and do transactions in BRICS and strengthen, you know, China, who's like an adversary. So like, there was multiple reasons why we did what we did. We're just using the rules of a law enforcement operation that he was indicted. But the reality is that it's a far more complex geopolitical situation than a law enforcement operation.
I guess I'm not really sure how quickly you could like condense your thoughts on this, but I guess that leads into my main question, which is, you know, obviously we have a precedent of going into, you know, foreign countries, non-cooperative countries, let's say, you know, we just overthrew Bashar, you know, we killed Gaddafi, but I guess what do you think the precedent is now moving forward? Because, you know, we're almost in the 2030s, you know, we got this new like JD Vance thing, you know, going on. I mean, I don't know, what do you...
Well, I've always been opposed to wars in the Middle East, and to be honest, a lot of these wars in the Middle East are fought because of, we have a very strong Zionist lobby, right? This is one of my main criticisms, that when I say America is run by Jews, it absolutely is, and it's by dual allegiance Jews a lot of the times. And it took basically a genocide in Gaza for people to wake up and realize like who really runs things and pulls strings. I mean, we're probably going to go to war with Iran because of Israel. You know, like literally we're in the middle of tensions right now. They're talking about bombing them any day now. So our foreign policy when it comes to the Middle East is pretty much directed by Zionism and Jewish power in America. So, but that's a whole other topic.
I guess, and then I guess we'll do one more follow-up.
Yeah.
I mean, then what are your thoughts on Iran? Like, you know, would you say it's pretty likely that we're gonna
Go to war with Iran? Very likely.
Yeah.
Very likely. Very likely. And first it was nuclear weapons, now those are gone. Oh, now they're building up their ballistic missile program. They're using any excuse they can because they want a regime change. That's what they want.
All right,
so, thank you, man.
Thanks for sharing your thoughts.
No worries, dude. All right, who's up next? Let's get, we got a little bit here, because, but we'll be back out here, what time? We're going to be back out here at 5. So, because we can, you know, go amplify sound as long as we want. Yeah, but let's get a disagreement. I know you got, let's get a disagreement first.
One more.
Yeah, bro, let's get like a disagreement. Who has a disagreement on anything I said?
Oh, no.
Remember stupid Indian stink. Ice did nothing wrong. Renee Good was a legit shoot.
I don't got a disagreement, but I'm a fan.
Okay.
I'm Cohen. I've been watching you every day since September, and I got a couple questions. I'm 15. What goals should I have? What should I be focusing on? What should I stay away from in order to being successful in life?
Stay away from drugs. Stay away from women because they're useless, honestly. Focus on building yourself up. Don't get a girl pregnant. Yeah, just don't fuck your life up, bro. Honestly, like you got the world ahead of you. Like for any young man out there, like don't. The biggest one is like don't involve yourself with females too early. All right. So, because the reality is like you're gonna be younger, you won't be able to provide a certain type of, you know, leadership, and it's just gonna fuck you up. So.
Do you think we could get a picture afterwards?
Yeah, of course, man. Of course, bro. Yeah.
As well, you've changed my life significantly from watching you.
Appreciate that,
I'd
man.
also like a picture if
Got you. And don't worry, guys. I'll stay. For everybody here that like, you know, fucks with the content or whatever, I'm gonna stay back and I'll take pictures of all you guys. Don't worry. Let's get a hater on though. But I got y'all. Anyone that want a picture of Slash, my friend. Let's go. Yeah, we got any other progressives that want to come on here? Anything that have a disagreement with one of my viewpoints? Go ahead.
My question isn't necessarily pertaining to the ICE, which you came here to talk about, but so Myron, you've spoken about being turned away by Turning Point USA. I just wanted to know if that experience changed or reinforced.
That's not true.
It's not true?
Yeah, the Jew earlier was lying, but basically what happened was, and they always lie, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I didn't get turned away. What happened was, obviously, we all know Charlie Kirk was tragically shot and killed. When I was at Amfest, they obviously had security at a heightened level. My government name and my stage name are two different names. So when they saw because when you get a pass, it's under your government name. They saw my government name didn't match with Myron Gaines. Like, what the hell? So that's where the confusion came from. But I had already been there. That footage that got shown, I had been there for hours already, right? And I got a bunch of witnesses that were there with me because we had a booth. So basically they took the ID, double checked everything, and they're like, oh, our mistake, man. And then I went back in.
So it's just misinformation.
It's a bunch of lies by idiots and haters. Never got kicked out, not once. I was there the whole time. Matter of fact, it's funny because the Let 'em Cook hoodie that the Jew was complaining about earlier, like I wore that the second day. So how would have I been kicked out while simultaneously wearing the hoodie and going viral?
All right, understood. I just wanted.
Yeah, but he also implied that too.
I just wanted clarification on.
Yeah.
That's all.
No worries. Because there was actually like a bunch of the Zionists that did that. Go ahead.
Okay. What's going on, Myron? I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I know that you're Sudanese.
Yeah.
I know that you've been outspoken about the genocide in Sudan and everything that's going on. But I also know you've also talked very favorably about the UAE in the past and how great of a country it is. I know you spent some time there. My question is, would you be willing, or do you hold the UAE accountable for backing the genocide today?
I've talked about it, that they're involved in the illicit gold trade, which is funding the conflict.
Okay.
They buy a lot of gold from Hemeti, the head of the RSF, and that's created a lot of problems.
So would you say, like, since all that has leaked, I feel like it's been the last couple of months, everyone's become aware to, like, UAE backing the genocide heavy and getting all their gold from Sudan, basically?
Yeah, when I talk about the UAE, I'd say that it's a very good, it's a very safe and clean country, right? Two things can be true. They have a safe and clean country, but at the same time, they're also funding that conflict, which, many other countries are too. There's unfortunately a lot of countries, we do it all the time. We back militias, we back violent groups, rebel groups, insurgencies. So it's just an ugly reality about geopolitical affairs, but two things can be true. Yeah, no worries. Can we get somebody else on? Who else? That's it? All right, let's fucking go, man. Before I get started, I want to say, I want to dedicate this to Charlie Kirk. You said a Nazi? Well, Charlie wasn't a Nazi, I am. So, anyway, Charlie wasn't a Nazi, I am. Now you guys are stuck with me. He was way nicer. So, yeah, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. I'm going to dedicate this section of the show, well, this video, to Charlie. We keep his memory alive. We can have political disagreements all day, but at the end of the day, he's an American, he was a patriot, and, whoever was responsible, we will find you and you will go to jail. So, fuck you. So, and no one should ever be persecuted for their political belief system, whether you're left, right, centered, any of your skin color, even this weirdo over here, he should be persecuted, or whatever it is. Like, they also deserve the same dignity. So, we believe in nonviolence, we believe in discussing ideas, not attacking each other, and when you got the truth on your side, you don't need to use violence, man. So I'm dedicating this to Charlie. Rest in peace to him. Obviously, God bless his family. And, I think it's the right thing to do. So that's what we're out here doing, keeping his legacy alive. So anyway, so you're up first now. What's your name and what do you got to say?
I'm a supporter, so you can.
Oh, okay, awesome.
My name's Alejandro, and I just wanted to ask a question.
Yeah.
What are some specific policies Republicans should prioritize right now to win back young voters without watering down conservative principles? And how do candidates like Valentina Gomez reflect what the party is headed?
Well, number one, don't even call yourself a Republican because that's gay. And then number two, like the Republican Party, let's be honest, is controlled by Jews and they're all cucked. So we got to have our own political movement where we actually put the interests of our country first, put our citizens first. We don't do things for the benefit of Jewish oligarchs and technocrats and all these other people that are the elite class. We got to do things more for the working class, the people that are doing things out here versus, the Republican Party where they're, on one side they say, yeah, we fight for the people, but do they really? I think they fight more for, the globalists and the Jews and everything else like that. So, and the elite class that quite frankly none of us are a part of. So that's what it is. So I would say first get rid of the political labeling and have an ideology. Whether it aligns with Republican values or not is one thing, but I think calling ourselves Republicans and Democrats, it's like, no. That's what they use to divide.
Okay, thank you. Can I get a picture after this one?
Yeah. And don't worry, guys, I'll take pictures and sign books and all that stuff after. So don't worry, I'm not Hollywood. Fuck these faggots. We keep it real over here. So, yeah, we still say faggot, we still say nigger, we still say kike. I don't give a fuck. That's how we do it. Okay? When I went to college, I sound like an old man now, right? When I went to college, we just said what the fuck we wanted to say. So, we're bringing that shit back. We're too much of this political correct faggotry. What's up, man?
Hello, yes.
What's up?
Not the first guy, last I checked. Double. Okay. But I need to have
Yeah, he's a little bit tall. Maybe we can help him with it a bit?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Shout out to Beans, by the way. And yes, he is Hispanic.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, here we go. Okay.
Thanks, bro.
So I have a question. I read your Wikipedia article before this. You're like, what is it, like Sudanese American or something? That's
Yeah.
like ancestry?
Yeah.
I just guess, given that, why do you like ICE? They're going after like Somalis. Bro, you're next. You're like the next thing in line. Geographically.
Oh,
that's
for
what's
Somalian?
happening.
You were saying?
Yeah, like Somalia, I guess like, I don't know, Ethiopia. Then you get to that, and then it's you, man.
Well,
like,
I'm not a
come on,
pirate, but that's fine.
Self-interest. Yeah, look.
Yeah, we're very different. Like, we're Arabs, they're not. They're pirates, we're not.
So you don't like the South. You don't like
But
the
yeah,
South.
I mean, look, I was born in America. I've lived here my whole life. I've served this country. My parents immigrated here and they're naturalized citizens now. So, that's my background really. I've only been to the Middle East a few times in my lifetime, so.
Okay, yeah, but you were born here. But like, so was Renee Good. So were those like native people who were arrested in the UP a while ago. I don't know, man. Like, you have this like.
What don't you understand? Fair played. Fair played.
Big spiel about like Charlie Kirk at the beginning and like, oh, political violence is bad. They like, yeah, good. I don't like shooting people, which is why I don't like, them shooting her. I did nothing wrong. Proves you wrong. I don't know if that proves you wrong, but it proves an inconsistency. I'd like to hear you say about that.
Well, you gotta understand that Charlie Kirk was on a college campus having civil discourse with people that disagree with him. Meanwhile, she was committing a felony and impeding federal agents from doing their job. The two are not the same whatsoever.
I don't think so. So if she was on a college campus, it would have been all right.
No, if she wasn't breaking the law, it would have been all right.
Which law did she break?
Which law did she break? Well, let's see here. 18 U.S.C. 101, impeding and obstructing a federal agent from doing their jobs and their duties. She was stopping them from enforcing immigration operation. That's a felony. I've actually arrested people for it before myself when I was on the job. So you can't do that.
I think you might be lying. I don't believe you.
I am lying? Look it up. 18 U.S.C. 111.
No, I believe that's law. I just don't think that's what she was doing.
That's what she was there doing.
Myron, you're lying.
She was literally,
to me, man.
she was literally blocking off. She was literally blocking off agents from doing their job. That's why her car was parked in that way. They told her, "Hey, get out of here," and she wouldn't. She didn't want to. They said, "All right, step out the car." That's when she veered off.
Other question. You say Indian people.
Myron Gaines.
Will stink, yes.
In general, yeah, a lot of them do.
Well, I got a few Indian friends, and they smell pretty nice. So explain this inconsistency to me, please.
Well, again, it's a general statement. Does that mean that every single one of them stink? No, just a lot of them do.
So a lot of them do. I mean, a lot of white guys stink too. A lot of people in the shower need to use deodorant.
Sure.
What will you say with me? White guys.
Two things can be true at the same time.
Yep. White guys stink. Come on, man. You can say.
Well, here's the thing.
I give you the card. I give you the pass.
Here's the thing. That is not the stereotype that's attributed to them.
Okay, come on. Don't be woke over here, man. Say it with me. White guys stink. We got stinky armpits. We stink.
Well, if you stink, man, then that's great.
No. I showered like 5 hours.
Okay, there you go. So you proved your own statement wrong. You don't stink.
But many of them do. You said that lots of Indians don't stink.
All right.
I'm just saying.
All right, what's your... Okay, who's up next?
So much for the tolerance, right?
No worries, man. Thank you. All right, thanks.
How you doing, Myron?
Hey, how are you?
I'm just curious, why do you think there's so many like, blue-haired people on my campus?
So many what?
Of the blue-haired, like, confused people.
Oh, on your campus?
Yeah, up here.
Well, look, I went to Northeast University in Boston, right? And we're a bit more progressive. So I kind of saw this happening when I was in college back in 2013. I'm showing my age here. And the problem is that college campuses are kind of like, you guys are insulated from like the real world. So what ends up happening is you're able to kind of like develop radically progressive ideologies that a lot of the times don't align with the real world. And one of two things happens when you graduate. You either keep that mentality and stay a retard, or you wake up and realize, holy shit, like the real world doesn't operate on these progressive ideals. And even myself, like, I went to Northeast, so I lived in Boston for many years. I grew up in New England, so I am very familiar with that academia mindset where it's like, oh yeah, let's just be like above moral, like on our moral high grounds, and progressivism is the way to go, and everyone's equal. And you get into the real world and you realize like, no, we aren't all equal. Like men are better than women at everything, pretty much, right? Like they just suck at everything, and it's just like it is what it is. So when you get out there and you become an adult, you start to realize like, unfortunately, the real world doesn't align with what you're programmed to think in college. And the reason why people are able to think these things is because you kind of live in like a fake world here where you go to a dorm and you can hang out and drink beer all day and smoke weed and not have to pay bills or whatever. Like you're able to kind of just chill. Like college is an acceptable way to spend 4 years being a degenerate, to be honest. Like, you should be educating yourself, but you can also be a degenerate in the process and not deal with real world consequences versus if you're in the real world paying bills and having to work and shit.
Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
No worries, man.
What's going on?
What's up, man?
I want to ask you, what do you think about this like looks maxing or this black pill?
Look maxing?
Yeah.
Looks maxing?
This,
Well,
like, yeah.
this is a very interesting topic, and this, I think, is something that doesn't get talked about enough. The reality for guys is women have more options than ever before. You got social media apps, you got dating apps, etc. So with that, women's standards have went up. A girl that would have been limited to her own geographic area of sexual access and mate selection in that area, now she has access to men on Instagram, men on dating apps, etc. So a guy that would have been qualified 20 years ago, now he's not, because she can get something better. And women, will take the best deal that they can get. They're hypergamous. So when it comes to looks maxing, every guy should focus on getting in the gym, keeping themselves clean, brushing their teeth, because a lot of guys are unkempt. So on top of having your money in order and everything else, you just got to be a well-rounded guy. Like, you can't be an average guy anymore and get the dating and sex life you want. Like, being average is like not going to work, because average women no longer want average men. They think that they deserve above average men, unfortunately. And women are super entitled, and this is why we have the issues that we have now when it comes to young people and dating.
100%. All right, yeah, thank you.
No problem. Disagreements? Okay. All right. Can we help her with the mic? Thanks, Beans. Shout out to Beans, by the way, and Brett, Sean, everybody helping out behind the scenes. This is a team effort. So shout out to all you ninjas. I wouldn't be able to do this and be racist like this without a team behind me. So, yes.
Okay.
All right. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. So I have like a fairly long question, so just bear with me for a second. So,
You have the clip version?
so
Oh, serious.
I'm a,
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Just try to make it, concise.
yeah. So I'm planning on going into the medical field, right? Because I feel passionate about helping people, etc., right? And I feel good that my life is going to be like that. So how does someone like you, who you essentially get paid to be like a laughing stock, right? And the only people who really look up to you are antisocial losers, right? So it's kind of like, if I was you, I think I'd just kill myself. So I don't really know.
It's okay, guys. Let her give or take. It's fine. This is what the First Amendment is. Unlike progressives, we let them say what they want to say. We don't censor them. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm here for charity. Yeah, what else? So, kill myself. What was the other one? I'm a loser. What else?
No, your fans are losers. That was
My fans are losers. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Anything else?
that's true. That's true.
So, was there like an argument here, or just
There-
ad homs?
People like you argue in bad faith. I don't feel like I don't have enough respect for you to do this.
Okay. So, isn't this awesome? This is what, see, I actually like that she did this, because this is what progressives do. They come up, they don't actually challenge any of your statements or your, ideologies or your facts. What they do is they just insult you personally, say you're a bad person, kill yourself, and then they take the moral high ground and say, you're not even worthy of a debate. Well, let me ask you this. Where have I lied?
Okay, oh my god, I really didn't want to do this. But the whole thing with Renee Good, right? You're saying like she was doing something illegal. Okay. You know what? I'll meet you there. Okay? Let's say she was doing something illegal. So police are actually trained to use lethal force in only the absolute worst of situations. There's actually a training on what you should do if a vehicle is approaching you that all police officers are forced to take, right? And that definitely, it involves getting out of the way of the vehicle and trying to de-escalate before you shoot someone in the face. So generally.
Okay, so it's kind of interesting that you say that, because I actually went through this training that you're trying to talk about, and nowhere in the training do they tell you, okay, here's a class on how to get out of the way of a moving car. No, they teach you how to escalate properly, how to, identify threats, making sure that people keep their hands in certain places where you can see them. So there is no specific training because I actually went to the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. I went through HSI SAT. I was an HSI Special Agent before I did this. So I'm very familiar with ICE training in itself, and there is no specific class at FLEXI that says, okay, this is like what you got to do if a car's coming at you. You just need to know, hey, if deadly force is being used against you, which your car absolutely qualifies, has been deemed from Metro case law, you can go ahead and respond with deadly force as well. That's just the reality. Now look, I'm not here to debate the morality of it. I'm here to debate the reality of it and the legality of it. And from a legal perspective, he was 100% justified.
Right. So I mean, if we're like...
You can get on the mic after whoever said that. I mean, that's not really relevant to the debate here. You know, that's because that's a subjective thing. Like, one person might say it was immoral, another person will say he was acting in self-defense. So that's a subjective thing. But if you disagree, just get on the line and I'll have a discussion with you. But yeah, sorry. So that is the. So my thing is, it was self-defense. She broke the law. She came at him with a vehicle. It is what it is. Like I'm not celebrating her death. Like I'm not one of these sickos that's gonna sit there and be like, yeah, she deserved it. No, but you know. You can't run at a federal agent with a vehicle. I'm sorry, you can't do that.
I mean, you asked me earlier, like, where did you lie? It is, like, true that there is training on how to deal with specifically a vehicle approaching you. So I don't really know, like,
No, there isn't.
This is just an example.
I went through the HSI Academy. When I went through in 2013, 2014, it was not there in the curriculum. They teach you defensive driving, but there's no class like, oh, a car's coming at you, like, you get out the way. They put you in different scenarios.
Well,
I'm like the worst person to debate this with because I actually went through the school. So.
Right.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, I'm trying to find out where did I lie? Where have I lied yet? Guys, don't heckle her. Let her, you know what I mean? Like, it's a...
Maybe you missed it. You don't, I mean...
Still can't identify the lie, huh?
It's entirely possible that you missed it. Everyone makes mistakes, you know?
No, because you can't miss classes when you're at FLEXI. Everything is documented. Actually, as a matter of fact, you know what they're going to do? They're going to pull up all of his training, as a matter of fact. Anytime there's a use of force situation, and you go, for whether it's a police officer, a special agent, whatever, they almost always pull their academy records to see how were they trained. Like Derek Chauvin, for example, that technique with the knee on the back, he was actually taught that in the police academy. They pulled his records. That was an authorized technique taught by the Minneapolis Police Department.
That's great. I think we're talking past each other. I don't respect you. I'm going to leave. Bye.
Translation, I lost. Okay, great. This is what happens when women aren't in the kitchen. Hey guys, come on. Let's show a little bit of respect, man. Let's let him get his thoughts out. What's up?
Hi, how's it going?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing just okay. So, you said to begin with you're a Nazi, correct?
Well, I was kind of fucking around, but if you want to go there and say that, that's fine. If you think I'm a Nazi, then I'm a Nazi. Like, I've got to a point now where I don't even care if people call me a Nazi or not. Because it's like, no matter what, if you have any type of conservative or right-wing viewpoints, you're always going to be labeled as a Nazi to somebody.
I disagree.
What's that?
I disagree.
So you don't think I'm a Nazi?
Well, I don't think all conservatives will be labeled Nazis.
That's.
I think conservatism has gone way too far, but that's not the point.
That's fine.
I just want to, so earlier you had asked her, where did you lie, right?
Yeah.
Well, for one, I have not heard you quote any facts or anything so far. So I would just be curious.
Well, we didn't even get that far because she didn't even.
Sure. So I, just to be honest, I've never heard of you before, and nor did I want to. But I looked you up on Instagram before this. So, and the first 5 things that I saw were you being like extremely misogynistic and saying that men and women are not equal. So I'm just curious, and like I think on the Instagram reel that I saw, you had said that like women are intellectually inferior and should not.
Wait, you're saying it didn't happen?
Be trusted to make decisions for themselves. Do you mind expanding upon that and, I don't know, giving any scientific evidence to prove that?
Well, here's the thing. Men are better than women at almost everything. From a physical standpoint, lung capacity, strength, muscle density, height, aerobic capacity, lung capacity. Like, we're just better at almost everything. We're physically superior to women. And I'm tired of having to, pretend that we're not, right? And it's actually kind of funny because I actually I think men should be providing and protecting for women, because I do think that since we are better.
I already analyzed it. I didn't sense AI in there, but you're right, it could have fooled me.
Than them in most things, we do have a duty and a responsibility to protect them in many ways. So I just don't believe in this egalitarianism between the sexes because it simply doesn't line up with reality.
I was asking for facts, not opinions.
Okay. Did I not just state a bunch of biological facts between men and women? How men are...
All you actually said was that men and women are biologically different, which
That's
is
a fact.
right.
And that is a fact.
Well, men aren't designed to give to birth children. Women have naturally higher percentages of body fat. So like
that wasn't my argument.
Right. Well,
I said women are physically inferior
No, I was
to
asking.
women are physically inferior to men,
Okay.
and that's a fact.
Okay.
You asked me like what?
But that's not. But wait. So to go back to what I actually asked, I said on the Instagram reel you had quoted as being said women are intellectually inferior and not to be trusted to make decisions for themselves. Do you mind supporting that with scientific facts and or evidence?
Yeah, I mean, here we go. Every thriving society has been a patriarchy for the most part. Men built the world around you, as a matter of fact. Everything that you see and enjoy here was built by men, created by men, thought of by men. Women don't really provide infrastructure like that.
That's incorrect.
Women don't provide infrastructure?
One more time?
I said, so you don't even know what you're disagreeing with, you're just disagreeing.
One more time.
What I said was, men create the world that we exist in. Women don't. Every society that's ever thrived has been a patriarchy, has been led by men to some degree.
Which society?
Now, we can use ours for example. Like,
which one?
Men create Okay, now you're just being...
No, seriously. Are you talking about
See, it's
America, the
interesting
US?
because
No.
I give you facts, then you move the goalposts. It's like, what is your point here? Like, I've given you several examples of how men are superior to women, and you still are saying, oh, well, what's your facts? I'm telling you the facts. You say, well, what's your facts? Are you going to engage with what I told you? Like I told you already.
Yes, I am.
Men are superior to women in almost every single way. Everything on earth, all the modern conventions, for the most part, the majority, have been created by men. The infrastructure and the technology that we enjoy was created by men. Men are born to lead, women are born to follow.
Okay,
this
that's
is
just
shown
like
in our
saying-
sexual attraction to
So
each
are you
other.
gonna let me respond?
Women want. Okay.
You're asking me a question and then you're just talking.
Well, you asked me for the facts, and I'm just giving you a bunch.
That's not facts. You're saying things. You're just like, oh yeah, this is a thing and this is a thing, but
Let me ask you this.
you're not actually saying what society. You're talking about the Mayans, the Incans, are we talking about Germany or the United States? Like, what are we talking about?
They're all patriarchies, is my point.
No, they're not.
Yes,
What are
they
you
are.
talking about? Egypt
Yes,
is not a patriarchy.
And the ancient Egyptians?
Right.
And they got conquered. Boom. Like, it's like, bruh. It's like, dude.
Wait.
Like, well, okay, well, you concede that men are physically superior to women. We can start there. Men are physically superior to women. Will you concede that?
There are biological differences between men and women, yes.
And that makes men better than women and physically superior to women.
In what sense? Men can't give birth. I mean, in my opinion, women are physically superior because they can give birth. So that's a difference of opinion right there, not facts.
Okay.
Give me a fact.
Well, we're going to talk about tangible assets that make them superior. We're talking about strength, height, lung capacity, speed, agility, coordination, reflexes.
Okay, so
Men
wait.
are superior in
I'm
every
gonna ask
single
my
way. You
question
gave
for a
one,
third time.
and here's the other thing too.
Please wait.
Because only
Please wait.
women can have children.
Please wait.
Men can't have children, but in everything where
Please
they can
wait.
actually compete,
Please
men are
wait.
superior.
Please
That's
wait.
my point.
Okay, hold on. So I'm going to ask my question that I now have asked twice before because you did not understand the first time and you asked me to repeat the second time, okay? Number 3, Myron. Ready? Are you ready?
Yeah, because look, everybody here is like on the same page, like, dude.
Myron, listen for a second. Open your ears, okay?
I'm listening.
Ready? You were quoted as saying, women are intellectually inferior to men and should not be trusted to make decisions for themselves. I am not talking about biological physical capacity here. I am talking about our brains, which clearly you do not have. Please respond to the question that I asked. How do you scientifically support that with facts?
Sure. When I talk about, so you want to be specific and focus on, because you did 2 things. First, I said women are inferior, so we talked about the biology, which I think I've explained that now at this point. Now you want to talk about the part where they can't make their own decisions. You want to talk about that part now? Because it was a 2-part question.
Yes, I actually did ask the first time, the second time, and the third time about women's intellectual capacity.
Well, I gave you a bunch of facts and you kept just trying to not trying to engage with it. So let's go into the second one. So when I say women shouldn't be making their own decisions or whatever else like that, what I'm saying is, well, here we have is feminism, right? Women have the ability to pick any man that they want. They have more liberal They have all the freedom, right, and liberty to do whatever the hell they want nowadays, right? So why is it that less women are happy, more women can't find a boyfriend, relationships are in the shitter, divorce rates are high, overwhelmingly initiated by women, by the way. Marriage rates are plummeting. Women are complaining all the time about not being able to find a guy. Despite the fact, when women are polled about dating, they always give negative analysis on what it is.
I said according to what study? You still have not given me any actual...
If you look at dating statistics, women are overwhelmingly not happy with dating and not satisfied with the quality of men that are out there. They complain all the time. Cornell did a study where women found like 60% plus of men as, like around 80% of men as economically unattractive. Like, the reality is simply this. Most women don't want most men. Okay? However,
according to what study? You still haven't quoted anything.
Okay. A majority of women are single. What's that mean?
According to what study? You still haven't given me
Okay, this fucking guy, man. Do I need a study to say that 1 + 1 is 2? Do I need a study to say the sky is fucking blue? Do I need a study to say you're being a retard right now?
Stop strawmanning me right now.
Like,
Myron, shut the fuck up. Stop strawmanning me right now and respond to the fucking question, you bitch. Seriously.
Hold on. I don't know what this creature is, so I don't want to come off as misogynistic. I don't know if your name is Tom or Tommy, but the point is you're being a fucking retard right now, and someone needs to tell you this, and this, quite frankly, is exactly why trannies shouldn't have guns. You're fucking insane.
Oh my god.
And you guys don't live in reality. If I ask
I'm
you
not
right
the
now,
one who can't respond to a question, so...
Yeah, well, no. It's just like you're purposely being dense for no reason.
No, not at all.
You're telling me I need a study on women being dissatisfied with dating.
No, I'm asking where you're getting your numbers from, because you're just throwing like 60% out there, and you're like, oh, the majority of women are unhappy. Where are you getting that from?
I just gave you dating and mating relationship statistics just now.
No, from where? From your own experience?
Marriage
Is that
rates
from you
are
being
down.
at the bar and overhearing
Marriage
this
rates
shit
are
at the bar?
down.
Like, what are you talking about?
Marriage rates are down. Divorce rates are down. Bridal companies are shutting down. David's Bridal shut down. Okay, like the entire marriage economy has been dying.
Probably because
for
the
years.
actual economy is failing. Yeah, what the fuck?
See, I give him a fact, then he goes ahead and moves the goalposts again. I'm giving you
I'm not
statistics.
moving any goalposts.
All right, man. This guy, it's like you can't win. Even if you tell him the truth, it's
I
like
use she,
whatever.
their pronouns, and I identify as non-binary. Thank you.
What do you identify as?
Non-binary.
It should be non-brain. That's what it should be.
Okay.
Like someone
Go
like
ahead.
this is just
You
Looney
can call
Tunes.
me if you want. That does not matter to me.
No. Like here's the thing.
I'm still talking.
Here's the problem.
This is very interesting.
Let me ask you this: how many genders are there?
As many as you want.
No, and that's the beauty. See,
why does it matter to you?
It's very difficult to debate these people because they don't live in fucking reality. So if you don't live in reality, we can't even have a foundation to have a real
social
argument.
construct, honey.
Gender's a social construct?
Yes.
Okay, were you born? Well, I'm gonna assume you're probably born with a dick, right?
You have no idea what's in my pants.
Yeah, dude.
He did not ask a question. He said, "I'm assuming."
These guys don't live in reality.
He said, "I'm assuming you were born at the dick." That was not a question.
Okay. These guys don't live in reality. So, and this the problem is that since you don't live in reality, if you can't even identify how many genders there are, we can't even have a more complex conversation on more nuanced topics because we don't even have a foundation of reality here.
Because,
right?
You wait, so just to be
and this is why, quite frankly,
don't talk
to be
over
very
me.
candid,
Don't talk over me.
this
Hold
isn't
on.
your
No,
show.
no, please, wait.
To be
You've
very
been talking
candid,
too much. Hold
this
the
isn't
fuck
your
up.
show.
No, hold the
This
fuck
isn't your
up.
show.
I don't give a fuck. Hold the
Okay.
fuck up.
Okay,
I don't
anyway.
shut the
This
fuck
is
up.
precisely why trannies should not have guns. This is precisely why they're mentally insane.
Oh, I'm about to restart my stream.